Mr. McLean, how you doing today?
I'm doing well, thank you.
It's great to be speaking with you. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much.
Well, your music now available for streaming. This is perfect timing for folks out there who are finding themselves with a lot of time on their hands these days.
Yeah, this turned out really well for me, I guess. Also, Time Life put up a YouTube channel, and that'll also be having content. But yeah, I think these 11 albums are going to be on every platform there is out there, and there are probably another 15 albums. So there's about 25, 26 albums out there that people can get most everything. I've done a lot of stuff, but that's the bulk of it.
So why was now the right time to make these songs available for streaming? Were you kind of hesitant to make them available before now?
Well, it's actually a pretty complicated thing. And I have a lot of these albums are mine. They've reverted to me. And we got to talking to Time Life and about something else, actually. And they said, we'd like to do this because they know how to do it. So we were delighted to turn it over to them. And that's what got the whole thing going.
Awesome. Yeah, as you mentioned, a lot of music for the fans out there over your career. Will we see any of these albums maybe released back onto vinyl? I know a lot of people are back into the physical media these days.
There's a talk now of a box set in the fall, along with an unreleased album of songs that I did not write, but have recorded with my group that's been with me for probably 25 years. So there's a lot of rock and roll on that record. It's going to be called Still Playing Favorites, and that would be included with these 11 albums in some sort of a box set, I guess a CD. I don't know, whether they'll do vinyl or not. I think they're going to roll out sort of one album at a time and talk about them and billboard some of the songs on there. I don't know what their plans are, but they are very serious about it.
Awesome. Well, again, a lot of Don McLean music out there now available for streaming. And you mentioned the new album coming up here, Still Playing the Favorites. Can you tell us a little bit more about that? Is it just songs that you guys have kind of played on the road over the years? Or?
Yeah, it's a takeoff really on a song, an album that I made in the 70s called Playing Favorites. And that was the first time I veered away from doing just my own songs. When you were a singer-songwriter, you were supposed to be a singer-songwriter, and you weren't supposed to sing other people's songs. But I love to sing other songs, and I've had hits with other songs, like Crying, the Roy Orbison song, and a song called The Mountains of Mourn, Every Day, other tunes that I didn't write. And so I began, with this album, and actually had a #1 record overseas called The Mountains of Mourn, which I'm still known for. But, so this is a takeoff on that. So here we go, all these years later, still playing favorites. And so here are a bunch more. But these are more hard country rock, and I have some of the best players in Nashville with me, and they, so we've done a lot of things, like some of the stuff is somewhat obscure. There's a song called Doggone Lonesome, which Johnny Cash wrote for Ernest Tubb. There's a song called Hide in Her Hair, which I got from Ray Charles. There's a really beautiful ballad called She Used to Love Me a Lot, which David Allen co-wrote. And so there's a mixture.
Excellent, yeah. And a lot of people over the years have had big hits doing versions of your songs, so I guess this is only fair that now you get a crack at it.
Yeah, well, I'm lucky to get a crack at anything. At my age, I'm really happy to be active, and we have a very full touring schedule, which, of course, because of this situation we're in now, has had to be adjusted somewhat, but I'm not complaining. I'm very fortunate. There are so many Americans out there that have lost their jobs, and so many two-job couples with young children who've lost their jobs. They were doing so well a few months ago, and all of a sudden, off the cliff. I'm very upset about that and sad about that, and I think about them a lot, and hopefully they'll be, my music will give them some kind of comfort.
Yeah, of course, it's been doing that for, 50 years here, and the tour coming up here, as you mentioned, and that's the 50th anniversary of the song American Pie, and, it's amazing how popular that song remains to this day. Of course, for us DJs, that's a song you can always rely on when you need to, step out of the studio for a few minutes.
Yes, actually it's the album that we're going to be bragging about on the 50th anniversary, because a lot of songs have come off that record. Vincent, of course, but millions of people know songs like Winterwood and Crossroads and The Grave, which was used by as an anti-war theme when the Iraq War started, and a song called Babylon, By the Waters of Babylon, that was re-recorded by people, so that it's got a lot of songs on it that people know.
Over here, we're not too far from Clear Lake, Iowa, so it kind of has an extra meaning for us as well.
Yeah, well, the plan is to start the tour in 2021 at the Surf Ballroom.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, that's definitely a great venue, and, as, of course, with that song in particular, has a lot of meaning for that place.
Yes, I was there once before, back around 1980, I guess. The most interesting show I did, which had all sorts of people that were connected to the folks that perished in that plane crash. All the Crickets were there, and the Fireballs were there, and Peggy Sue was there, and Donna was there, and the son of Richie Valens was there, and I got to meet one of my favorite Crickets, Nicky Sullivan. And I'd always wondered, what happened to Nicky, but apparently he quit rock and roll and went to work for Sony.
Well, Don, I know we're out of time here. The music's out there now for streaming, the new album's coming up, the tour, a lot of stuff. Definitely looking forward to all of it. Thank you so much for your time.
My pleasure talking to you.